Welcome back, Nitty Gritty family. We are here with Amy and AJ. Thank you guys for coming in. We are really excited. And if you can tell, listening, we have new equipment.
I bet everyone was like, something sounds different.
You need to see the picture of Cam's equipment.
Yeah. Gorilla Glue, hit us up. Or Gorilla Tape.
We may or may not be using duct tape to hold together our brand new equipment we just got. But hey, whatever works.
It's just the boom.
I'm sure they'll
It's
see it
not
on
a
social,
big deal.
right?
Yeah,
Who
exactly.
makes the boom? Let's call them out.
You know what? We should have done like this
Yeah.
Right? Like the intro, the new equipment.
That's right.
It looks really good, by the way.
Well, thanks, guys, for being here. We're excited to learn all things. And in the pre-warm-up, learned that we have no idea what we're going to learn about today. Because we have people moving and starting new businesses. So I don't even know where to start. Well, let's start. Amy, why don't you introduce yourself really quick?
Okay, so thanks. I'm drooling with the smell, as we've been talking about.
It's amazing.
Amy Caldwell. So I am the Chief Business Development Officer at Rev Road. And it's funny because this is kind of my opening joke when I MC a lot of events at the office. And I usually say, hi, I'm Amy Caldwell. I am the CBDO. You got
It's like I've taken 5 CBD gummies.
Yes. Okay.
It helps me with my position here.
A little bit
And
for all.
it's funny because
There's the
most of
brown
the
nature
audience kind of
entrance.
just,
Yeah,
you just kind of sit there
Share,
like,
everyone, share.
what does that mean?
I'm the
like,
CBD.
oh.
Like,
Yeah.
she's so relaxed.
Not Colorado. This is still Utah, all right?
So I love my title. I didn't pick it, but it's turned into be really fun.
That's good.
And one of the co-founders.
Very fun.
Yeah.
Awesome. AJ, what about you?
AJ Rounds, also one of the co-founders, get to work with Amy on a daily basis, and we have a good time, don't we? A little farm town kid from Logan, Utah.
Okay.
And
It's not a little farm town.
yeah,
You
not
have
anymore.
to stop claiming that
It
now.
used to be. It used to
Although I love that we are farmers. Remember that
Dun, dun,
BYU
dun,
jump
dun,
that they
dun,
did with
dun,
them? Like
yeah.
with the fans there. But used to be a little farm town, but not really anymore.
Not
is it?
anymore. No, we miss those days. But like everywhere, right? Utah's just booming,
Yep.
Totally
which is
true.
kind of why we're here, right?
For sure.
And I'm the Chief Marketing Officer at Rev Road as well.
Okay.
So I oversee the marketing and the video teams, and we make companies look amazing and have great video.
So how many co-founders are there of Rev Road? How many of you are there?
6.
Yeah, we're 2 of the 6.
Okay.
So 6, there's myself and AJ.
Yep.
Bart is our CFO. He hails from Colorado and he travels back and forth. Bruce is
CBD.
our, yes, right?
CBD.
I
No,
eat-
they have the THC there.
There you go.
They're good.
That's right.
Heavy
CBD
stuff.
here, THC there.
And then Bruce
theme here.
Hassler is our CTO, and he's phenomenal. And then our fearless leader is Darren Hill.
Okay.
So he's our CEO. This is kind of his mastermind.
Okay.
We're still missing one.
Jason.
I'm sorry.
There you go.
Did I say Jason?
You didn't say
Okay,
Jason.
so
No, if Jason's
no, I know.
listening, she
I
said
know.
Jason.
So I saved
She
the best
said
for
Jason.
last
Okay.
for a reason. My husband.
Oh, that's why you forgot.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
We're second the same, last the best of all the game. Don't you remember
There
that?
you go. There you go.
Come on. Oh my gosh. You grew up doing that. I am from a small town in Missouri, so that's the kind of stuff we would say. But Jason, my husband, is
Okay.
the 6th.
So did you guys all know each other prior to Rev Road? Or
Yeah.
did you all
Yeah.
get... Okay.
Yeah.
You're chunking your gum, dude.
Oh, am I? Can you guys hear that? How are the microphones doing? Can you hear my gum?
That's how good they are.
I'll take it out. How about that? Let me take it out.
Do you see how close we are? Yeah. Okay. I'm kind of a mom, so it just happens.
We all need it too. That's
For
what's,
sure.
That's what's crazy about it.
So we did know each other, full disclosure. Jason and I obviously did in some form or fashion. And then Darren is my big brother.
Oh, okay.
And Darren...
So it's a family thing then.
It kind of is.
Okay.
It kind of is. Darren pulled together this group of people. So he knew Bart from a previous endeavor. He knew Bruce from a previous endeavor. AJ, a lot
Also.
of close
Okay.
ties there
Yeah.
with those guys.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So what was the idea behind Rev Road? Like, what is it? Like, Cam was asking, I was like, I don't know how to explain it very well. Like, I think I know what it is, but I don't know how to explain it very well. So what is Rev Road?
Amy, take this one. She says this thing. I mean, she goes
Well,
over this every day.
Yeah.
I can make the long answer is we used to be an accelerator, and we just realized that we're so different than the typical accelerator incubator. So we are a venture service group. Take a VC model, you get pitched,
Yep.
you hand them a check, they go out and try to. I almost did a
Almost went over.
Mackenzie.
almost tipped over the wall.
I know.
Mackenzie, shout out to you.
I
All
know.
about that.
Yeah.
That's right, I had to clean it up.
Yeah. The little dot on your computer.
Yeah. Right.
And so we do it differently to where we invest services into companies. So for 2 years, we work with companies that come, and it's kind of a array of the services. There's 12 specific ones that we offer. Companies will come to us. We find out where their weaknesses are, where they need some gaps filled in, and then we infuse these services in through our teams for 2
Okay.
years. And in exchange, like a VC takes equity
Sure.
for their capital, we take equity for our human capital.
Oh, that's really cool. So
Yeah.
instead of investing money and them having to turn around and put that to work, you're just giving them the work that they're going to have to go out and find,
Anyway.
basically.
Right. So there's a couple
Right.
purposes that this is interesting for a lot of companies. It's another option. We don't think we are the thing. We're an option for the entrepreneurs out there. A lot of companies need to go raise capital, and what happens when they're early and they raise capital?
They get
Shark
taken
Tank,
advantage
screwed.
of.
They do.
So
One of them
bad.
takes advantage of them,
And then they
right?
don't own their business,
Royalties.
and yeah, right.
Mr. Wonderful.
Mr. Wonderful.
It's sad, or they don't even get a look from an investment. And so this allows them to conserve on needing to raise capital, push it off longer, hire the right people, get their traction up and running. Their valuation is better when they do go raise. We put on the services so they're not having to raise the capital to go hire, contract out, and then maybe or maybe not succeed. So
So after the 2 years, what happens?
Well, it's a great question. I mean, the hope is that they're just flying high, right? They're
Sure.
taking off. The J curve is huge, and everything's going well. And that's the case for a lot of them. A lot of them go get their own office space. The ones we do have office space within our own office here at
Okay.
Rev Road. But, half of them take advantage of that, half of them don't. But then they go get their office space and they continue to grow their teams, and they just keep going. They keep cranking, right? And we've got a bunch of companies in that space right now.
yeah, but it also goes beyond that. So that's the typical story when they graduate. But when they become alumni, they're still part of the network. So we
right.
have internal events. Our investor network is far and wide. They'll open their Rolodex on a regular basis. They come in meetings. They come and they still can office and use our space. They're still part of the Rev Road family is what we call it. And I know,
Okay.
it's just part of what the community that we're building, and want to make sure that we're on their cap table still. We are interested in the success even beyond that.
In fact, we're here during lunch, and we, like Amy said earlier, we left a potluck lunch to be here, and a lot of those folks that are there are
They're really
people
pressuring you for some good
I
barbecue.
know. Where's our barbecue?
really
That's what I'm
pressuring it.
saying.
Listen, there's a phone number on the website.
Very not subtle.
But yeah, it's true.
I've been dreaming of that turkey all along. I'm telling you.
Oh, that's great.
So a lot of those that are there today, right now, are alumni,
Okay.
and they just come back for fun events and to have that camaraderie and networking opportunities, and we're just all good friends.
Their kids
So,
come, their wives come, their husbands come.
It's like what
We do
stage?
yoga.
What
Great.
stage are these businesses?
After or before the potluck
It was
dinner?
it was
It
before.
depends.
It's
Today
gotta
was
be
before.
No, it was
Yes.
It's gotta
before.
be before.
It's better before. Yeah.
You do it after you have to use 2 of those little blocks, right?
No, I just sleep on the mat. I don't even try.
Yeah, that's great. That's
Fat
great.
people need the blocks.
Oh.
Not me.
I don't do
Or
yoga.
Not flexible.
Or not flexible people. I'm pretty flexible.
So what stage of the businesses are they usually when you guys kind of partner with them?
It ranges really. A lot of people think of us as a startup phase, and a lot of them are. But we have companies that are 40 years old that wanted to get into the edtech vertical, or 30 years old that wanted us to build out their digital side. So it really just depends on what their needs are and what we can provide the value in. So yes, we do help a lot of startups, but in the early days, we used to take an idea on a napkin if we thought the founders were investable, right? I mean, people are the number one thing that we look at. And now we want traction.
Yeah.
So there has to be, it doesn't necessarily need to be revenue, but what traction do they have? It's been
Okay.
validated. We're not having, it's a risk both
Sure.
ways for them and for us. but have they already kind of validated and vetted their service and product?
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's kind of an interesting learning that we've had over the course of the last 4 years we've been in business, right? That we thought, okay, it's all about business model and what are you guys doing and how marketable is your product or service or technology, right? But what we've learned, which is surprising to us, is it's the people. It's that founding team and the traction that they have that really makes the biggest difference on whether they're going to be successful companies or not.
Yeah, I've heard that so many times. Like
Yeah.
they're investing in the person, not necessarily the business.
Exactly.
Right?
So true.
You can teach a lot of that stuff, but you can't teach good
Sure.
people.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's right.
totally.
So
Yeah.
how did this all come about? Did you guys, I mean, obviously you started this together, right?
Mm-hmm.
So where were we when the idea, like, you know what we should do? An accelerator.
One day in the shower.
And instead of
I
money, we're going to
remember-
give them services because it's a really unique idea.
If you guys are, I mean, I assume everybody's pretty close. Like one of the person you forgot was your husband.
Jason, I
We
love
did
you.
not
And then
forget you, Jason. Just
person
let
that you
that be said
the
right
person
now.
that you really praised was your brother. So I mean, I just in my
This is not
mind,
going to go well. This
I
is
know
not
we
going to
can
go
cut
well.
all this out. I'm just having fun.
That's awesome.
But I imagine, like, for some reason in my head, it's like we're on vacation or we're all successful in different things that we were doing individually and just wanted to help people out. Like, so how did it kind of come to be? Because you said 4 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, about 4
well,
years
we're in
ago.
our 5th year. So,
Okay.
And you need to have Darren come on, and he's a one man. Like
He's your brother, right?
Yes, he is my brother and the CEO. So this is,
Okay.
as I mentioned, this is his baby, his
Okay.
brainchild, and it really was this is his 10th company. So
Okay.
it's after going through multiple startups, figuring out what the pros and cons were, who was your friend, who wasn't, what were the pitfalls, all the things that did not help entrepreneurs. And so a lot of that was they don't have capital. They can't afford a space to office. They need services. Who are the right team members to do the right job? How do they find mentors that can help protect them? And when they do go to raise and bring in people to make sure that they keep their equity. And so a lot of it was just trial and error. And so this was a combination of everything that he experienced during his time of starting companies.
So when he started,
Yeah.
were the services more limited? Was it more focused and it's now expanded? Like, was he like, okay, here's the one main service that people want, or this is the number one reason startups are failing, and that's kind of what it was built around? Or was there always the idea we're going to provide these 12 things?
It was always that idea, actually.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
Because we realized, I mean, the big problem in the market we're trying to solve is there's a 90% failure rate of businesses, right?
Yeah.
And when that happens, who loses? We do as a consumer.
Everyone
right?
loses.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we want to flip that on its head and flip that stat to opposite. Let's make a 90% success rate, right? And that's what we're working towards at Rev Road. Yeah. And it's these services that we have that help us do that. Marketing, a dev team, sales, video, accounting, legal, raising capital, all that stuff.
Yeah. But really, I mean, this started, Jason and I were back in Virginia. We had another couple people we would weekly do Zoom calls and brainstorm. Like we knew we wanted to do something.
Till midnight, 1 a.m.
Oh gosh.
sometimes.
So we
it
did.
was
We had
crazy,
these
wasn't
weekly
it?
meetings for probably 6 months
Yeah.
before we figured out, figured out the team.
So what were you doing before? What were each of you doing before Rev Road?
Amy, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, you take it.
Will you put like a partition up between these two? I want this to be more of like an interrogation where they can't look at each other. Like,
We have boxing gloves at the office.
look at me. Look at me.
No, for real. We do.
Who used to do this?
You should hear some of our.
Raising Wild. That's what.
There's like holding hands.
Oh, I love it.
You go. Remember that?
Well,
We're
I
being
normally.
nice on the podcast, but there are moments when we're like, "Get out of the way. We're
I'm
gonna make
usually
this happen."
going, I'm not done. Let me finish.
Yeah, exactly.
Trust me, I
Yeah.
have to do that.
AJ,
So
I'll take this, you dumbass. So
It has happened. It has happened.
We do. It's
no,
fun.
it's
okay, so we were in Virginia. Jason and I back in Virginia. I was raising my kids during this time. So I have four amazing kiddos, and he
they're
was
almost gone. Actually, they're leaving the house fast.
They are.
Yeah,
They are.
I know, right? It's a hard thing.
sad.
No, we're all getting there fast though, faster than we
sad.
think,
He's just
right?
jealous because I could go out without a babysitter.
Oh, maybe that too. I
I'm
don't know.
kidding. He's got
BD.
Oh,
Kids are, yeah, there you look at that.
He used to be Benadryl. Now it's
CBD.
CBD.
We're now back on that. Yeah, it's great.
So no, he has amazing family. So I was raising my kiddos. My husband Jason, his history is a little different. So he was.
That was loaded. I'm excited.
Well,
about that.
and I even thought about, gosh, what do I say about him? Because we used to whisper in our car.
Drug dealing's not as bad as it
No,
used to be.
no, he used to take down the bad guys. So
Oh.
he's an Arabic linguist from the military days.
What?
And then got out of the military and went to do the civilian side. So working for Boeing in DC. So when 9/11 happened, Arabic linguist, he was project manager. So
Do you know how smart you have to be an Arabic linguist in the military?
Do you know how smart to be just to say that, let alone be able
Dude,
to?
so I
Amazing.
have an employee that's one right now. He's in training right now at
Trust
the Air
me.
Force for Arabic.
If you want to bug Jason,
Yeah.
just say
I'm not kidding
Arabic
you.
instead of Arabic.
I
That
know.
makes him so crazy.
It's like
No.
saying Illinois.
Right.
Right? Yeah, you're from Missouri. You know about
I am
that.
from Missouri. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I literally am so glad my kids got their brains from their dad. That's just, it was a gift. So he was doing government work back in DC.
That's as much as we can say on the podcast.
Seriously.
Why are you making that face? No, I'm just kidding.
No, I mean, you guys, like I took down my Facebook page at one point because
Have you? So the real question:
Yeah.
Have you always known what he really did, or was there a time
There's
where
no
it was
way.
like
Not a chance.
can't tell?
She probably still doesn't know.
no.
Let's bring him on the podcast.
No. So no,
plead the fifth.
he went. He took trips that he was not him. Like
Sure.
I knew that he had to go. Like there's this whole procedure. You have to go way down south to get another ID, and then when you get off the plane, you have to like spend 2 hours driving around to different spots.
Wow.
He had to fire one. Anyway,
So but
yeah.
could he?
If she told you, we would have to kill you.
I know. I'm trying to get there.
Did you say Army?
Yeah.
Who is he with?
Army.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. He was Army.
Was it one of those things though that you have learned more after since he's been done with it?
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I kind of knew the gist.
Okay.
So he never traveled to the Middle East when he was in the Army. It was
Okay.
after he got out. And then I wouldn't watch the news at all when that all was happening. And then one time my sister-in-law called me. She's like, Amy, have you watched the news? There's these American contractors that are being hung and drugged and burned. And I'm like, why are you calling me?
People are so stupid.
Well, of course, they just are so concerned and worried. But I'm like, I don't want to know. I just don't want to know. So it was a wild, out there, everybody, you don't ask about what people do. You're a contractor, you're an advisor, you're a consultant.
Sure.
You work for the State Department,
I've seen the movies. Yeah.
Well,
Jack
so
Ryan.
okay. So seriously, when
He's so
when
hot.
Darren was recruiting Jason during
Okay.
this time, okay?
To
And-
do what?
To come and
Take the
start
reins.
something, right? So that was
Okay.
the early days when we were
Okay.
brainstorming.
Right.
And Jason's done huge projects. So operations, he's people operations, he's
Logistics.
he can do it.
Focused.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's
Smart.
he's
He does what you do with all the AV and stuff. He set our
Yeah.
entire event space up. It's
But you
amazing.
don't speak Arabic. I'm sorry.
No.
Arabic.
No,
Right?
Yeah.
stop
Arabic.
it, stop it. But he is really good. He's sharp. So that's who Darren was recruiting during that time. So my past is a little bit more unique. It's just kind of boring, really.
Oh,
No, it's
still
super.
waiting
It's
for
super
something
different.
juicy. That was juicy, I guess. That she's married to Matt Bourne.
No,
Yeah.
Jack
That's pretty
Bauer.
cool. Or Jack Bauer, yeah.
We used
Damn
to,
it.
Yeah,
Damn it!
we did. We used to call
We
him
knew
Jack
what you
Bauer
were saying.
in the
We
early
knew it.
days.
That's
Only
perfect.
be-
That was my ringtone forever. The CTU.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Remember that? Oh, that show's great. If you haven't
I had
watched
to
it,
stop
you
watching that during season 3 because it got intense. Way
Well, it'd be
bad.
hard,
It was bad.
I mean, even though it's not exactly what your husband was doing, it still makes you.
Similar.
It was.
Because that's the thing, you have no idea what he's doing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's so much more there. This is.
But
we
you
gotta
guys,
get to the
seriously,
bottom of
we would whisper in the car
this. We'll
because
charge for this episode. Just say it.
well, there are times that I still think, his face is. He did anyway.
He aged. That's what you were about to say.
No,
It's like a bishop.
when you're in that position, you have to kind of keep your
Right.
Profile.
who
low.
you are.
Yeah.
So, do your kids know?
No, they know what he did, but they
Okay.
don't know what he did.
Okay.
No. So I'll
I
tell
can't
you.
let go of this ball.
Listen, I want
You know what I mean?
I want you to know. So earlier when you were dissing me for forgetting my husband,
Yeah, that's why.
he is so hot for what he did. I mean, he is a bad A.
I think he's hot
He
too. I just
is.
looked at him.
He is. Thank you.
But what's great about him is
Stalking
when you
people,
look
talking
at
about
him, you're like
Great.
army contractor,
Arabic.
This
he
guy
knows
works
Italian.
This is
Italy.
the Rev Road picture.
Yeah,
There you go.
He looks
hates-
like he works at
oh
Rev
gosh,
Road.
he
this
hates that
picture.
picture.
Right? But underneath there's
Cam,
marine tattoos.
No, he hates that picture.
There's like pin up, like the
That's
like
right.
the trucker.
That's
you know,
right.
the truckers having their mud flaps. American flag on his lower back.
No,
I've seen him work out. He's a beast.
I do.
No,
He's a
right?
beast.
Like,
Yeah.
well, you just think so. Just Arabic. Like if people understood,
Yeah, I know.
I'm saying like I understand. Like
Yeah.
I speak Spanish, but that's it. But like talking to a kid who worked here named Christian, who's a linguist, and holy crap, like
It's insane.
just to get, because you can be selected for multiple languages, right? Like Mandarin is crazy,
yeah.
but Arabic
Yep.
is like there's Mandarin and then there's
Yeah.
like they laugh at you when
just
you get
symbols.
picked to be Arabic. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Just
like
symbols, yeah.
your brain, like the
Incredible.
testing, the way they have to test out to be chosen.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
What made it?
And so when you say army, like army doesn't like
So
that's just where they have to go to be linguists. But it's like
yeah.
army almost makes it sound like, well, they can't be that smart. They're in the army. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he had
but
graduated.
that's not true. Oh,
BYU.
don't be all politically correct. They know what I
No,
meant.
we're fine. We're fine.
You know
So
what I
he
meant.
had
You
graduated.
think Harvard when you think Arabic linguist,
You
right?
do. You really. I mean, he's a smart guy. He
just got me in
graduated
trouble. I hate
BYU.
you.
We just met, and the day of our first date, he signed up for the army, and I'm like, no way, I'm not doing this. I don't want to live poor. I don't want you running around in crazy places, and no.
Right.
I'd been married before. I was kind of wealthy. I'm like, I'm not going down there.
Very honest statement. I like that.
Yeah, well, it was. I was
You're
shallow.
awesome.
I was super shallow then.
No, you weren't. You knew what
Well,
you wanted. There's nothing wrong with that.
I did. I definitely learned a lot from who I wanted to be and what I wanted in the future. So anyway, no regrets. Super smart guy. I mean, I have to ask him to like interpret the drive-through window if they have an accent. And I know that's terrible, but I'm so bad.
Taco Bell. It's a
Bad, you
killer.
guys. It's bad. And living in DC, I love the diversity there. Absolutely loved raising my kids there, but I couldn't understand.
Oh,
I just
for sure.
have this like thing in my brain that does not compute.
Where did you grow up?
Missouri.
Missouri.
I'm a Missouri girl. I am a farm girl. I am.
Moonshine.
Yeah.
Not so much CBD.
Okay,
though.
that was way too long. So
No, that was
Oh,
bad.
that's great.
There's so much more.
There was
okay,
yeah.
we didn't even get to backgrounds. There's Jason's background. Now, AJ, you go because I'll shut up for a little while.
Did you give your background, Amy? You got to tell us.
This
Okay,
farm
mine's
girl
like
was
2
a
minutes.
Checkered
Yeah,
past.
let's
That's
hear
all we
it.
got.
That's why I do Jason's first. So,
Right.
a lot of my stuff was I went to school for vocal music education. Said I don't have the guts for that. Heck no, it's never going to happen. And then moved out to Utah. This was back in Missouri. And then I was like, no school's going to tell me what I can wear and can't wear and do. And because I was a little bit of a, I was that kind of person. So I didn't go to
That's why
BYU.
You are where you are right
Amy,
now.
Amy, you're
Just
still
so
that
you
kind
know.
of person,
I was
right?
gonna say.
I actually am. Yes.
It's like that's what I was. I was like,
And we love her for it. We
I've
love
known
her
you
for
11
it.
minutes. And
Yeah,
I can tell
yeah,
you that
kind
you're
of.
still that person.
Yeah, I do know. Okay, so I got jobs and it was all in like, do you guys remember Ultimate Electronics?
Of course.
Oh my gosh.
So I got my first
Nobody
subwoofer.
knows that.
Yo, yeah.
It was just right over here where
Totally
Sprouts was.
Sprouts.
Yeah.
You'd like walk into the room and
Yeah.
all the
Oh, dude,
decks
that
on
was
the
the
wall.
Yes.
That's like a blast from the
that's
past. I
like
forgot all about
nostalgic
that.
when I drive by there and I'm almost
Yeah.
sad that it's not there. So I was
all
their
about that.
customer service,
Okay.
all of that. So all of my
Probably crossed paths
Probably.
quite a few times.
Probably.
I love that place.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
I know. Okay. So then I got married, then I got divorced, and then I went and started working on Touched by an Angel, the
no way.
Caroline film production. So that's when we were talking earlier about some people are.
Oh yeah.
So what did you do?
So I was with the locations management.
I don't know what that means.
Assistant management on the locations department. We have an
Locations
AB.
to shoot the show.
Yes. So
Sorry,
there's
I'm
even.
still not
You are
connecting these
so
things yet.
dumb.
Where do you think the locations come from for shows?
God.
No.
Well.
Oh.
Touched by
Well,
an
then the
angel.
location-
Yes,
Oh,
somebody has to
classic.
build
That's a
it.
good answer.
So
I
if
can
there's a
remember that one.
home or a business or a street or something that's in the script,
Right.
I would go scout and take pictures and create a
okay.
portfolio and then take it to the producer and say, which one do you pick? Now I have to go negotiate, how much they're going to make me pay
Oh, that's cool.
and permits
Probably so
and
stressful.
parking
Oh
and
my gosh.
you guys, one time we filmed one day and it was like beautiful in the avenues. And then the next day it snowed. So guess what? Locations, first one there.
You gotta
We're
have, like,
melting the
B, C,
snow
D.
on
Oh my God.
the same
Welcome to
sets. It had to
Utah,
look the
right?
same. It was fun. I hated
to
it. It was fun.
Wow.
So people,
Okay.
I've always done things with people. I love people interaction. My dad was always the guy that was sitting, 15 minutes later in the grocery line. I'm that person. I'm sorry if you're behind me in line. I like people. So I just do.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's fun.
And Amy's really good at it. I gotta say, Amy,
You can tell.
Amy brings in and she recruits all of our new portfolio companies, and she does a fantastic job because she's just
There's
so good
5
with people,
dudes,
right?
There is 5
Yeah,
dudes.
Right.
But you know what?
You need a powerful woman in
That's
there.
right.
Do you know
Like,
they
we
give me
got
the
her.
hardest
It's
job though,
amazing.
because I'm also the one that has to say no. Sorry.
Well, yeah.
We're not going to
Yeah,
invest.
it's they're all wusses.
It's called a voice of reason. They're all having a penis measuring contest the whole time. And
I missed that one. Sorry.
yeah, so it's good. It's good to get some ego in there. Like, but that's also what makes men good business people too. Like there is that that competition or competitive,
Yeah.
But yeah, once the little pride and ego kick in,
I
like
have
that's
learned-
why like
yeah.
a powerful woman that can come in there and be decisive. Like
Oh, guys.
such good balance,
But I didn't think I was that when I started. I was terrified.
right?
Like I've learned so much from these guys. I've learned so
Awesome.
much with this community here in Utah. I mean, it is one of the mecca places that you can come and just get mentored and
It is.
learn and grow.
very
And,
true.
That's so true. We talked about that actually with Mackenzie.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like so many businesses here,
They want to help.
they are so willing to just give so freely
Yeah.
of time.
Right.
And like, it's not like this scarcity where like, okay, if you're successful, that means I'm not going to be successful.
Yes.
So like and it's crazy because it becomes a really small world inside of like the entrepreneur space because everyone's kind of helping everyone else.
I'm gonna
Yeah, it's
I'm gonna
true.
add one quote that's my favorite quote. I don't know who it's from, and I should figure this out, and I should have it memorized, but I don't. It's the quote that basically says, "How can you tell the character of a person by what they'll do for someone that can't do anything for them?"
That's
That
right.
That's really
is
good.
the character that I look for in
Right.
people, because I don't care how rich you are. I don't care what name you have all over the place. What are you willing to do for the person who is just walking by you in the street
Yeah.
or drops something on the floor? I mean, that to me that's my kind of people.
For
We're
sure.
gonna do our little selling rocks
Yeah.
social experiment from Jody. We need to do
Jody,
that.
oh, you guys, I was crying in the shower when I listened to that.
I was crying right here in my office.
I'm
like
serious.
37 If you guys,
I heard
there was
you.
a lot
I
of-
know.
no, there was a lot of crying you didn't hear.
Oh.
Like, it was.
I
And
was-
we've talked probably 3 or 4 times since. And I
Seriously,
cry almost every time I talk to her.
she was
She's
so amazing.
Sweet person.
I know. I need to. I want to be part of that rock.
Well, for that
Wouldn't that be
reason,
fun?
Yes.
for that reason, I love what you're doing here with this podcast because you're bringing out the stories that we wouldn't hear otherwise.
Yeah.
Well, thanks. Yeah, it's fun.
Well,
It's
that
so
was fun with her because I remember her going like, "So, are we gonna?" She just like waved towards her face, like, "It's interesting that you guys don't want to talk about this." Well,
I know.
like, wait, there's something wrong with your face? It's like,
Oh,
so much
She
more.
just,
Yeah.
like we could have done a whole podcast without even talking about that, just because
Oh
her
my gosh.
energy, like, oh
Yeah.
man, she is. She walks in the room, you feel it.
Oh,
Like,
you
she's
do.
A special
Well, you can
person.
feel it through the microphone. You
Yeah.
can feel it through the show.
Yeah.
I mean, she's amazing.
What part made you cry in the shower? Do you remember?
The story with the rock, the little girl.
How great was that story?
Yeah, and oh my gosh.
How about the kiss your husband at
No,
the end? That one
what's
got me.
the guy who washed? Oh, I
Oh,
was telling
Lucas.
Ace- I was telling AJ
Lucas.
that in the car about kissing her husband. Yeah, Lucas. Have you found Lucas?
We haven't really looked yet. We need to. We've got a lot going
Lucas
on.
hasn't found out right now. He hasn't reached out.
Yeah. Lucas, pull your head out. Call us.
Oh my
We have a
gosh.
full shampoo and conditioner sponsorship for you.
Oh,
No, we'll as soon as because we both have like a lot going on right now, but the next couple of weeks we really should like
will help.
start. That'd be cool. Like
Yeah.
start a campaign.
We need to
to
start.
find him.
Yeah, we do.
The hashtag find Lucas.
That's right. It's got to be out there somewhere.
Didn't she say there was something
And you
like
could
that
do a social
already?
media
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh.
And you love social media.
I hate it.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate it. But I need to do it. I just need very easy, low hanging fruit, like the BYU game. That was easy.
Oh, that
right?
that was
But
incredible.
it's like thinking about it when you don't want to do it. What
That
do
was
you do?
incredible. And I'm even an Aggie, and that was incredible. That was awesome.
Oh,
All
dear.
right.
Oh,
Well,
dear.
let's steer the ship back. To
All right, AJ. So what about you?
Yeah, let's find
Where'd
out
you
about
come
AJ.
from?
Oh, well, we already talked about the outskirts of Logan, right? And how
Yep.
it's a little
Right.
small farm town.
What about
Right.
business
Yeah.
though?
Right.
How
A
did you
freezing
get
egg.
into the marketing
freezing
world?
down. So, so I go back to, you guys have talked a little bit about ADHD on the show, and I love that. I love that you guys have been very vulnerable
cool.
and open about that.
Oh,
I think
that
that's
makes
really
me
cool.
happy to hear.
I don't have that, at least not clinically diagnosed, but my dad, oh man, he had 20 companies at any given time. His greatest joy was for someone to say, man, your kids are hard workers. And he would keep us just working all the time, right? Yeah. All the time. Saturdays, it wasn't boating on the lake. It was, let's go rip down an apartment and see if we can put it back together again. And one day, we can do this,
That sounds like the superpower.
There you go.
Right there.
That's ADHD right there.
No time skills whatsoever. Like, we can do it in one day. You're like, oh, this is going to take 9. That is a huge part of ADHD.
It is
not having, our brains don't compute time the way that everyone else's does. So like when we say like, I'll be home in 10 minutes, it's like, all right, see you in 30.
And you're like,
no, I
you're
can
up
do
in
it.
Logan, right? 2
Totally.
hours away.
So like me thinking we're going to get moved in like 2 hours is like ADHD kicking in.
It's wearing off. It's my fault.
You're catching it.
Yeah.
It's contagious.
Well, now they're saying there is a new type of ADHD. It's called VAST, and I always forget what it stands for, but it's because of our devices and all the dopamine hits that we get, that it is producing a very similar like mental issue that is similar to ADHD, but it's all based on dopamine. So anyway, so maybe you have VAST. I'm sorry.
Interesting.
I have medicine in my backpack if you want to try it.
CBD, all
or
this stuff.
CBD.
We are talking about all this good stuff today.
That's right.
So I didn't know anything different. I thought that's how everyone ran their life, right?
Right.
So we just ran. My mom, she's an angel, bless her heart. She just kind of picked up the pieces behind him, right? And we just tried to keep up, and that was our life, right? And it was an amazing life. I really had a great upbringing and background. And then full disclosure, I am an Aggie, right? As I mentioned earlier.
We forgive you.
No, it's
not a you.
It's a blessing, right? We're friends. Come on, blue and blue, get together.
No, I
Come
agree.
on.
I think
Let's
there's
do it.
if somebody tells me they're an Aggie, it doesn't
It's all good.
doesn't bother me at all. Like
The best.
As long as you're a jazz fan, then we're good.
And we're a jazz fan. So
See,
we're
we're good.
good. We're good. So went to school at Utah State, undergrad and then graduate marketing, and then some HR emphasis there, and had a great time. Did some student government both in high school and college, and that was a good experience. And then I did, Cam, you're gonna love this. I did summer sales for 8 years.
Did you really? With who?
Eclipse Marketing. Way back when. They were kind of the grandfather of all the summer sales companies.
I remember Eclipse.
Yeah.
So
what was it? Like alarms, pest control?
Pest control.
Okay.
Yeah. And I did some sales for Living Scriptures as well. A summer before that, and hated that. That was miserable. But anyway, so I did the summer sales thing. Got into the working world after I figured that that's not a career I want to do forever. Right. The money is amazing, and you learn some incredible skills. But you're creating monsters. These guys that drive around in Lamborghinis and Ferraris, and you're not really helping them.
Lamborghinis and Ferraris.
Yeah, it's insane.
I don't know. They're making some pretty good money.
It's
right now.
insane.
There are.
No,
now
You're kind of
it's a little
destroying them,
different.
really, is what's happening.
But the problem is that trickles down to guys that like they use their whole back end
Sure.
to like try to look like they're doing that, and it can. Be
I actually think that it's kind of starting to wear off, honestly.
Oh no, it's very different.
I
now.
think you're right.
I think it's
actually.
evolved
I
a
think
little
the
bit.
last
Yeah,
like
it's
10
getting
years
more and more
evolved.
professional. They're helping them invest their dollars better now. I
Yeah.
think it's getting better.
Yeah, we were just talking about the crazy days when we all did it, right?
Oh,
Because
man.
that was like the wild west.
It was
Switching companies
wild.
every year for signing bonuses. Like it was.
Where are you taking me to dinner?
Right.
I would write checks for $50,000
Yeah.
and wouldn't even bat an eye. It's not a big deal. And there was one point when I had, I think, 159 free hotel night stays for as many hotel nights as I had stayed. So it was insane.
Yeah.
Not an airport in this country I haven't seen. Wow. So anyway, that was a good time. Decided, hey, I better grow up and get a real career, right? We all get to that stage at some point in our life. And I went to did some infomercials for a while. Worked with Guthrie Ranker and some of those folks here locally. There's
Like,
a fantastic.
like the back end of them?
Yeah, I did the campaign management, making sure that they were profitable on the back end. And with media, you have to be so careful. As you guys know, I mean, you're spending, this was in big days of TV, so you're spending $250,000 a week, right? And you have to pay them the very next week because they want their money first.
Yep.
So you got to make sure that you're not losing sight of that kind of stuff. So really good experience. Then I went to, got recruited over to Shelf Reliance, what was on Shelf Reliance. Now they're Thrive, and they're thriving. They're doing fantastic.
Wow.
Jason and
Steve,
they were in my ward.
Are they?
When I first got married.
Tell them hi.
No, not anymore.
Oh, not anymore.
But when we
Okay.
first got married, they were still Shelf Reliance.
They are the coolest guys and so genuine, down to earth, just really, really good people. In fact, Jason Budge,
Stake president a few years ago.
Yeah, awesome. I mean, I love the story.
What's a stake president?
Something to do with Bam Bams, right?
Well,
Steak.
I just
right?
want to, we have tons of, what's the word I was looking for? I just forgot the word. Gentile? Was that the word I was looking for? Gentiles. that
Oh,
listen to
man.
us.
Here we go. Here we go.
Oh,
What's the word I'm looking for?
That is
Yes.
not the word I was thinking.
yes.
Is
Yeah.
it Gentiles? Like a scriptural term for a
I
non-believer?
wasn't thinking that word either.
A pagan?
That's funny.
Oh my God.
Let's just call them.
worshiper?
Let's just call them humans.
Yeah, okay.
How about that?
Well, fine, whatever.
I'm dying.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Listen, I have instincts, okay? I know when...
Still on the pre-game show.
Oh,
remember?
you're like extra feisty today.
Am I really?
Fun,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Well,
I'll
you
stop.
say
It's
it
this
for
new
us.
equipment.
I
No, it's
love
the
it.
tape. It's the tape holding down your microphone.
Maybe
That's
I
what it
have
is.
caught my arm hair on the
Ah,
tape.
there you go. I knew it.
It's pissing
I
me
knew
off.
that's what it was.
Ouch.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'll be quiet.
Oh, good stuff. Okay. I don't even know where I was.
So what were you doing right before Rev Road?
So, was it Shelf Reliance for a minute? Helped him, go into the Thrive model, direct marketing home parties, which has been great for them, actually. Went to Vegas, had the entrepreneur experience where you do everything wrong, right? And those are some of the experiences that you learn more
Absolutely.
from, right? So, and I realized there very quickly that what we talked about earlier with the Utah ecosystem does not exist in Vegas because they're all out to
Interesting.
make a buck and, smother you as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
And anyway, so we left Vegas and not too long, sold the business, went to St. George for a minute, was at Dixie State College doing some adjunct professoring and marketing director, I was the marketing director there. And so good stuff. And then I went to the oil and gas industry, which is kind of where I was before Rev Road, helping a friend grow that company, saw some great growth, and so we had some good times. We, we spoke Spanish to most of our employees because we were in Texas and Nevada and North Dakota and Louisiana. We built man camps. I don't know if you've heard that term before, but they're large cities in the middle of nowhere. And it was good times. It was intense. We were helping these companies.
Are they really called man camps?
They really are,
Really?
and it's perfectly legal. I promise. Yeah,
I mean,
that's what the industry calls them.
Sexist. Come
Yeah.
on.
no, it's not even that. It's just like if I ever opened a gay bar, I think I know what I'm going to call it. It's
Oh
man camp.
man, there we go.
Like Friday nights at man camp, Salt Lake City.
They are a thing.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
It's interesting
Wild.
because we with the man camps, right? You would love this. Bam Bams would have been great there
I'm
because
listening.
they had to consume about 6,000 calories a day because they're out there working in the sun for 12 hours. All the gear. They drive 2 hours to and from the job site, and they need somewhere nice to stay. That they've got housekeeping and they've got all the food they could possibly eat, ice cream galore. They're set up. It's like a Hilton in the middle of the desert. It's amazing.
Wow.
So we built those, did some great things with that, helped that company, 10x their revenues, and then met Darren. And this is the funny story. So my first week in, I'm a Latter-day Saint and the predominant religion here in the area, obviously. First week in church, I meet Darren. I'd never met him before in my life. We just moved in, and he's like, "Hey, you look like you work out." I'm like, okay, kind of a weird thing to
It's the
say in
man
church.
camps.
But there you go. It's
the man
camps.
camps.
Did
Yeah.
it for
Everyone's
me.
really strong there.
6,000 calories a day, right? Anyway, so he's like, "Look, yeah, it looks like you work out." I'm like, yeah. He's like, "I bet you won't work out at my house at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning." I'm like, is that a challenge? And I'm like,
I'd be like, you are right.
I said, let's do it. Let's go. I'll be there.
Wow.
So that turned into...
You guys just clicked. That's pretty cool.
That turned into 3 years of working out in the mornings, and
Really?
it was some of those workouts that we talked about, some of these, things at Rev Road and how we wanted to build this company and with the rest of the group and everything. And it was an incredible time. We had a good time.
See, now that story is pretty cool. Like where I'm trying to think of the other story that reminds me of. Probably Shine. I think Shine. Isn't that the one where they were just, one of them would just walk around or they walked together or something?
Betty. It's Betty.
Betty. That's it. Betty's beds.
Yeah.
So it's like, who would have ever thought, right? Like,
Yeah.
like some crazy guy just walks up and says, "I bet you can't work out at 5 in the
Yeah,
morning at
work
my
out.
house."
In church of
Like,
all
I bet I
places. Anyway,
can,
it's really
bitch.
cool. And you gotta know Darren. I mean, that's just how it is. And he's awesome. We
I've
love
read
that
a few
about him.
things while we've been talking, and
Yeah.
he just seems like a blast. Like,
He's
he's
cool.
just
He's a
high
rock star.
energy,
Rock star.
sweet guy.
He would
And
do
how
anything for anyone.
Right? Like you can tell. But how cool is that? Like you accepted the challenge, and
Yeah.
Now
Yeah,
you're
look
cool.
where-
We hit it
Yeah,
off.
It's way cool.
And it's been an amazing working relationship for me. And I consider him not only a friend and a brother, but a really fantastic mentor too.
Cool.
Well, it's interesting because you both, I mean, you don't have to speak highly about your brother, right? Usually when you talk about a brother, you're like, oh, that idiot. So like, I think it says a lot that you talk about your brother the way that you do. And then same
Yeah.
thing. So, I mean,
You
we got to
guys-
get him in here. He's
You
probably a pretty
do.
special guy.
His
to be able to bring all these personalities
Yeah,
together.
yeah.
Right.
His
good.
magic is
Yeah.
wanting to elevate everyone.
Right.
I mean, and he genuinely finds a way to try to make that happen.
That's really cool.
He's the real deal.
And the cool thing about Darren is he's a master negotiator. You will not win a negotiation against Darren.
nuh-uh.
Well, you did show
Yes,
us
I
that.
will.
It's
Oh, yeah.
incredible. Well,
I
maybe
don't know.
Amy
You
will.
got him
She's the
5
sister,
a.m.
right?
first day, like, you'll be at my house at 5 a.m.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I will.
I'm
You're
living
right.
proof. There you go.
So they send me because they're like, he's your brother. You go talk to him. I'm like, okay,
He's-
all right.
Yeah.
That's so,
Maybe
yeah,
sometimes.
that's right.
Yeah.
Hey, that's the thing.
Maybe sometime.
I'd be more scared of Amy than Darren.
No, we do find a
dang it.
way, but yeah.
Not saying you're scary.
No,
Just
thanks.
listen.
Hey, come on.
Women are scarier than people think. Give them credit
Yeah.
for, right?
We're the protector
Yeah.
when it comes down to it. So
That's right.
the mama
So, like,
bear.
who-
Don't mess with the mama bear, right?
Yeah.
Who was
Totally
the
true.
first business that Rev Road invested in? Do you still remember?
Yeah.
Of course.
So
Yeah.
we had a couple. So October 2017,
Mm-hmm.
we took on our first cohort. Phone soap.
Well, that's when we opened the doors
Okay.
officially,
I
right?
Yeah.
remember phone
We
soap.
built the company
Yeah.
about 9 months prior to that, and then we opened October 2017.
So when you
Yeah.
started, how many people were part of it? Like how many departments?
Well, no, there was just
Oh, yeah.
there was the 6 of us to start. Well, not even quite the 6 of us. There
Yeah.
was the
No,
4 of us,
no,
the 5 of us.
There were 6 of us, right? Like before we got going.
Yeah.
But
Fighting.
we were trying to put, see, boxing gloves.
they're fighting.
We do. We have. So we.
I think you're right, the 6 of us, then we brought in a few key
As soon
employees,
as we
yeah.
started like putting this together and we had formulated what the plan was, we were hiring people. And you guys, we were in Mapleton. Are you familiar?
Oh,
with
this is
Mapleton?
hilarious. Okay.
Do you know on the main street where the pharmacy is?
I don't
There's
know.
like 2
I
businesses
don't know it
there.
that well.
You can't
It
miss it.
literally
It's
is
one of the
like
2 businesses.
it's a one. I mean, now
I try
it's
not to go
growing.
south of
Yeah, there's
Springfield.
more now, but
I'm just kidding.
It's growing. But at the time,
we have
there
4
was
stoplights
this.
now, by the way.
Yeah, yeah,
FYI.
it is. It's right. There's this building, and there was this preschool in the bottom, the construction company,
Yeah, the paving company or
paving
something.
company,
Yeah.
All in like one
And then
building?
air guns.
Yes.
Or air gun.
Oh.
Oh, and then the
Yeah, yeah,
salon
yeah.
below. There's
Yeah,
a
the
salon
salon
too.
below.
Yeah.
And we had
Random.
700 square feet
Wow.
that we were building this out of, and we had 15 of us in there at one point, and we're sharing the upstairs bathroom
Literally?
with like paving companies. I lived a mile away. Do not second guess if I drove home when the facilities were needed. I was not going in that bathroom. But we literally did this in 700 square feet with about 15
were-
people by the time we
We were
moved.
stacking desks on top of each other just for fun because we needed more space, and then we'd have someone like sit at the top desk on top of the,
We
the
did
bottom.
not.
Yes,
No, we
yes.
did not.
You might not have been there those times, but there was a couple of times when we were like, we
was
need
an-
space.
yeah.
We need space.
It was fun.
So is there a type of company, like I imagine when you guys start,
Yeah.
is there a type of company that we're looking for, like
Mm-hmm.
an industry that we're going after? Or was it just kind of any startup that had,
We had relationships
Good question.
with
Really
phone
good
soap.
question.
Usable was another one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there was one other ticket counter. There was-
Aroma Rest was kind of there.
we kicked off. We launched
too.
Aroma Rest for them at
Yeah, yeah.
CVS. So no, they're
pretty much anybody that's got some potential?
We're
you
not
guys are
industry
in.
specific even today.
Interesting.
At all.
Ever any
Industry
restaurants?
agnostic really is what
We
we're doing.
we have courted some food industries for sure. Absolutely, yeah. We look at the opportunity.
Right.
So,
business model.
That's
yeah.
interesting.
That's
'Cause
what we're
I feel
looking
like
for.
everybody that's like that. Like I'm thinking of Blake
Matuszewski.
Paleon. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, yeah,
You know, it's like all tech.
Yeah.
Right. Seems like a lot of people want in
corporate
on
tech.
tech.
yeah. It is.
And so it's kind of
and they're
cool
awesome,
to
by the way.
hear.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool to hear that.
We have
it's like if
product.
it's
We
a good
have
opportunity.
aroma or absorbents. You gotta look up absorbents. So-
Absorbents?
yes.
Absorbents, yeah.
They're firearm bags and
Oh, wow.
So if you were to drop your phone in the lake, which is, let's be honest, that never happens, right? Ever. Or the pool, right?
Toilet.
Yeah, you're getting a
Yeah.
pool here soon. Toilet, maybe. You put your phone in this bag, which has got it's a patented silica, and it dries it out within 24
the
hours.
advanced version of rice.
There you
Rice
go.
is
And-
for
and
eating.
Elliot says, the
Rice is
founder,
for eating
rice
is his
for eating.
tagline.
That's
exactly
right.
his tagline.
Because it never works.
Yeah.
Actually, I have had it work once.
Well, and it gets caught in your ports and stuff too. It's ridiculous.
Wow.
So the idea is look at the portfolio. It's very broad. We have product, technology, SaaS, ed tech,
Yeah.
We look at the opportunity, and we have to look for a high growth, scalable company. Otherwise, the investment side has to be high enough on the backside, right? Where we participate.
What do you guys normally look at as far as like equity? Is it similar to what a VC or a private equity firm is going to look at?
No, it's different. That's part of our model that makes us unique. We're always going to only ask for a minority stake in the companies because, and this is important, we want to make sure that the founders stay in control of their company always because they're going to have a better vision and a better way to execute their company than anyone else that's coming in that doesn't know their business model, right?
Sure.
So Amy can talk to the ranges, but we hold on to that minority stake at all costs.
We'll fight for that for them too.
At all costs.
I mean, to us, the partner makes a difference. A $50,000 check is not equal at all.
And the hardest times are when companies come in and they barely have a minority stake as founders. And if they bring one more person on the cap table, they'll lose it all.
Yeah.
And we have to say, sorry, it's just not going to work. We would love it to work, but you have no room on your cap table.
Yeah, we're very tailored. So companies will come in. There's so many factors that go into this. It's what does the founder team look like? What's the industry? What's the opportunity? What's the risk level? And then we have these 12 services. How many services? And within each service are deliverables. Are you taking the entire service array, or are you just picking a few that you need help with?
Does that determine the size of the equity piece?
Yeah,
Number of services
that's
that they're
factored
going to
into
do?
it.
Okay.
It for
Founder
sure is,
decides that, not you guys. You're not saying like you should use 8 out of 12.
No, so they on their
that's kinda up to
application
them.
they pretty much just fill it out blindly, right? And then when they get further in the application, there's that drop down list. Now let's get really specific, and then we have probably 2.5 months where we're back and forth with these companies.
Negotiating.
They come in, pitch, we meet with them. They have one-on-one phone calls with each service area to find out more of the detailed day-to-day way that we work with them. We do not want to put resources in where they don't need us.
Interesting.
That doesn't make sense for them or us.
So what happens when you do like a really good job and then 2 years is up? They have to go like replace those services now? Like if they're using you for video and marketing and then 2 years is up, do they have to now go find another company?
Well, that's a good question. That's part of what we want to do at Rev Road is at first we're helping them, we're doing it for them, essentially. But then we're helping them hire people internally as their revenues are growing to do what we're doing. Okay. So that when they're
Your
ready
goal is
to
to replace
graduate,
yourself in 2
Yeah,
years.
right?
absolutely.
They're self-sustainable.
That's
That's,
really
our goal.
cool, actually.
That's our goal, right?
I should have called you guys. Damn it.
We're still here.
Sounds way easier.
Hey,
My
Bam Bams,
gosh.
every day we're in. Let's
Oh,
do
I
it.
love it.
Yeah.
Well,
We'll
we're
open
actually
one in Rev Road.
we're looking for a new location, and we'd love to have a Bam Bams there.
Oh my god.
Oh, I'd smell this every day.
I almost got Vivint, like back in the day. Like
Oh,
'cause they
really?
had those restaurants in there.
Wow.
Okay.
Because we did their food truck, but
Let's talk.
I'm in.
Okay, seriously though.
We're working on it
Be
right now,
awesome.
so we'll keep you informed.
So 700 square feet's out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
We're-
that's not gonna work.
No,
Yeah.
no, it's not going to happen.
Like now we have
anymore.
1,400 square feet per restaurant in our building.
There you go. There you go.
So we refine those services through those conversations, and then when it comes down to negotiations, well, sometimes it requires them really leaning up a little bit as well. So we never
By leaning up.
leaning
sorry.
up. So
getting
leaning up,
Okay.
right? So if they think that this would be a nice have, but they really don't need it right now, they take it off. Or
Can you pull those services in like as you grow? You can.
Yeah. So there's always the option of coming back and saying, we've had companies say, oh, I didn't get that service and I see what you've done for that company. Can I get it?
Right.
And if there's resources available for that, absolutely. We want to reinvest
It's
because
like quick quack. I should have just gotten the best wash
I know,
during the
right?
sale.
Right. I know.
And we have an amazing team, that help us
Yeah.
provide these services.
do.
About
How big
45, about 45 strong.
Wow.
Yeah, and they're all professionals and experts in their fields. And so we determine, hey, we have to capacity plan, right? And say this is what we're working on now. This is what we're going to work on next quarter, and make sure that if it fits in, and companies want more services, that it's got to fit in within that schedule. Essentially,
we will never promise a resource to a company
right.
we can't deliver for.
And it's
Are
a
they
little-
employees or like
employees,
like contractors?
No, they're
No,
employees.
they're
They're
all
part of our
in-house,
team.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, sorry, I was going to ask you. So, what's the pipeline like? One, how does like the pipeline get filled? Right, referrals. I imagine like people talking. But
Word of mouth. Yeah.
and how many
branding.
out of
Yeah.
100
Yeah.
are we going to work with?
So
and how often are you? Like, is it
Yeah.
cohorts always?
every quarter. Every quarter. So, we hit that 2-year mark, and now we're every quarter. There's a couple that are alumni, and then we bring in a few more. So
TV show. It's time. Come on, you know what you're doing.
Had a few people that have.
Yeah,
brought
why
TV
aren't you
show
doing
to us
like
on
that? Would be
this.
you're crazy not to.
I know.
2 years of
I
start to
know.
Hook us up.
finish.
You guys
Yeah.
are podcasters. Hook us up.
She's
with
a
the right person.
location
Come on, let's go.
expert. Like,
Oh,
come on, you
guys,
got TV.
I don't
She
know.
was on TV.
I don't know if I'd ever want to
It's
get
like
back
Shark
in that
Tank on
business.
steroids. Like,
Oh, it's
Utah
fun.
style.
yeah.
No, it really is fun. So they come in. We'll have anywhere from 60 to 80 per quarter apply, and then we narrow that down to maybe 2 dozen that actually come in and pitch to the initial group.
Who do they pitch to?
So me.
Yeah.
I'll bring in probably 2 of the leadership team every quarter, and then we have an analyst team that helps with that preliminary pitch. And then if they get selected to move on, there's like a day worth. Like we narrow it way down, 6 to 8 companies.
They are that day.
Well,
The people pitching.
we're not scary. We try to make it super fun for
actually
them.
do
But it's
pretty
still,
good job.
I'm sure,
They really
but it's
do.
gotta still be
But
scary.
it's
Yeah.
important.
Yeah.
I mean,
We're
that's
like-
one of those things.
We're
Especially if you get like if 80 people
Yeah.
and you're one of 2 dozen that gets
Yeah.
chosen to actually pitch, it's like, oh my gosh.
The cool thing though is we want to help them refine their pitch and give them tips along the way so that we can say, hey, try this thing better next time, so that they get better. Even if we don't bring them in, at least they've got some value from Rev Road.
Like
Having
Amy's like, you were chewing your gum
I
a little
know.
too hard.
I will.
Grow
I will
up.
say
How could
that.
people do
you
that?
guys, I will. I'm sorry, but
That's
that's
good.
that's
You
how
need to
they're
tell
going to
them.
walk into an investor pitch and be ready.
you got to be real.
Or
You gotta tell 'em.
podcast. I
love
You got to
it.
tell them.
But then we take 2 to 3 each quarter.
Okay.
So that's about our cadence. So
How many of your
selective.
businesses
Like 3%,
after the 2
4%.
years
Yeah,
Way
exactly.
cool.
have to raise money after? Or how many of them
So
go from
we
you
help
guys
them
to raise?
We help them with that. That's one of the services.
Okay.
After they've been with us for a couple months,
Yeah.
maybe a couple quarters, we go and raise money for them from a network of friendly investors.
Is that
we've
pretty
built.
normal for all the business? Like, is that part of the criteria?
No.
Is they're going to want or need to
No.
raise in the
No.
future?
No, but a lot of them do use that service.
Okay.
Our dev team, marketing, video, sales, and capital raising team, and legal are our most utilized services. Actually,
Yeah. We've raised for over half of our companies.
yeah.
Cool.
And we have an internal group of investors that we go to first.
Okay.
And then we have great partners outside that we'll take it to if
I
there's
think we've done
room
what,
left.
18 raises now at this point. or
Actually, I just went to an
something?
investor meeting with Bart yesterday, and we've done 21.
so it's
so
gone
we
up,
have
yeah.
44 in our portfolio now.
Right.
We're getting ready to bring on
Yeah.
3 or 4 more in October.
That's right.
So over half.
Yeah, and our sweet spot is
really cool.
500,000 to about 2 million. Those are typically the
That
size of
sounds
our
like my
raises.
sweet spot. That's where I want to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not for raising. I just want that much.
That's what you
Yeah.
want. For
I know, right?
Sounds
Well,
pretty
you
sweet.
spent half of it here on your equipment. So.
Seriously, these booms.
I love
were-
it.
With the duct
With
tape.
the duct
Duct
tape.
tape.
It's amazing.
Just kidding.
At least it's black.
No.
Matches.
It does match. So what's the number one thing that you get kickback wise with somebody that's pitching? Because I imagine, you watch Shark Tank, it's kind of the same thing. Like they come in, they think they have the greatest idea in the world.
Yeah.
Right? You believe in them. I'm sure there's some poker face going on. Like, I can't let on that, 1, he's very attractive. 2, the business is awesome. I got to play some hardball. But I mean, I imagine you get some egos in there.
Oh,
Well,
Yeah?
and they're so
Yeah.
passionate about it too. That's
Well,
the hard
and
part.
that's
They're
cool,
just
too.
So
Yeah.
passionate about
So
it.
what? So what's the thing that you see the most as far as just they just don't want to let go of the ball?
so on the positive or negative?
On the negative.
So do not tell me you were the only one that does this.
Oh.
It just means you haven't looked hard
Like
enough.
when they say, "What's your competition?" We don't have competition.
Right.
We're the only ones that have come up with the
Right.
idea to do a podcast in a barbecue restaurant.
That is
That
very
might
true.
be true.
It might be true.
It might be true. We might be the only one
In Utah.
That.
In
But
Utah.
what about something about their company that they own currently, but they're scared to let it go? Or do they think like I can do social media better than you? Or I don't want to give
yeah.
up this much money because
AJ talked about that one because we've had some founders that don't.
Like, it just
they
seems like
they
a
make
fight.
the decision, right? They drive the ship of their company. We support them. But there have been some times where we'll advise against something that they want to do, and it's 6 months later they come back and say,
Yeah, like
we should have gone your
that's
direction.
hard. That's a hard thing for
Webs-
both sides, especially because if I were you guys, I'd be like, you're going to do that.
Yeah. Well, I know,
but you
we're
can't. I
minority.
think it's really cool that you
Yeah,
don't.
Yeah.
but we try to let them learn. I mean, and oftentimes to their credit, they will listen to our expert opinions and they'll incorporate them, right? But there are some times when their branding just sucks. And when you tell them that, they're like, no, my grandma did this and it's amazing. And look at that pink color. It's wonderful. So
it pops.
Or it pops, it's very distinct. Or their website. They'll be like, this is the most amazing website. And it's like a novel, page after page after page. We're like, no, this is not going to work.
gosh.
Let's help you out with this, So there
so
are those
cool.
moments.
So there are five H's that we look for.
Yeah.
Number one is head. Do they have the brains, the smarts to do the industry business that they're going on to do? Number two is hands. Are they gritty? Are they willing to pull the all-nighters, to do the hustle, to eat cold cereal, which we keep that on hand at the office, by the way.
That's what I'm talking
Not
about.
barbecue, but
Okay.
Heart.
Lips.
Is the passion there? Do they care about what they're doing? What is their why? Does it even make sense to them? Are they going to give for this? Humor has to be there. My gosh, you have to laugh at yourself when you said I should have listened, or just have a good time, right? And then number one and most important is humility. If we've had companies come to us, founders come to us, and we're like, great idea, but we are not getting in. We're not marrying you. Yeah.
Sorry.
And
No,
some of them,
seriously.
It's true.
some
It
of them
is.
have failed because of that.
Spent 2 years with
honestly.
these people, right?
You're married to them. We're on their cap table.
Right.
It's crazy because even in partnerships or founder teams, if they don't have that humility, it can cause the downfall of their entire company.
For sure.
If they will not come to a meeting of the minds and compromise, sometimes it's game over.
So what happens when one of these companies comes to you and say, I exchanged equity for this service, and I don't think your service is living up to the amount that I valued my equity at? Like, do you have those conversations?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
No,
Not
Amy, you're
often.
supposed to say, no, never happened. I don't even know what that means.
No, honesty is
Just-
another H in there, right?
There's actually 6 H's.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
You be quiet.
No, I
No,
mean, a
just
lot of
kidding.
it is, we meet with them regularly, like weekly within each service, not as a bulk, but each service. And we are not doing our job if we're not helping them.
Yeah.
Right.
And we want to build the value that they need to be successful, because our equity is important to us as well as building their equity. And so those conversations have happened, and we sit down and we say, then let's figure out what we need to do. Let's tweak things, or maybe you're not ready for this particular service. Let's trade with a different service, or put that on hold and focus in these other areas.
Well, and part of that too, and it doesn't happen very often, but it has happened, you know, and it will with any business, right? You're going to have some of those challenging conversations, those crucial conversations, but they often they forget what we've done for them. So we've got a proprietary system within Rev Road that tracks all that we're doing and how we're doing it and when it's going to be due and everything that's going on with them, so they can see, oh, there's the progress, and you're right, I just got so tunnel vision to my company, I kind of forgot what you guys were doing for me. So, and that's part of the problem too.
Cool. Yeah. If you think about it, just to have that no stress. Now, what about employees? Because I imagine you have employees that are running these different departments. How do you keep them with multiple companies over 2-year spans? Like, how do you keep them like motivated and invested in these specific companies to do their job?
Our employees or their
your employees?
our employees?
Because your employees are the ones that are executing on these different
and they work
services,
hard.
right?
They work hard, and
So
they're
I'm like, does it? What I would be worried about is just like every company seems like the same. Like, yep, we got to film this, and I got to film that. Like,
yeah.
how do you keep them excited about each individual company and their needs?
That's an interesting question. I'm actually glad you asked that, because it would seem like that if you're doing the same thing over and over for each company. It would seem like that, but what we realize is every
started
company,
a lingerie company. They're like, yes, we're in.
Yeah, I know.
every company.
Vegetables. Oh, I love Emily Smith so much.
That's great.
Oh yeah, I
Love her,
forgot about that. Yeah.
Sorry, totally interrupted.
Well, every company is so unique and distinct that and the founders team as well, they're different personalities, that it just makes it fun and unique. Every day is different.
You got guns, you got phone soaps,
But
you got
medical,
but
you got-
do your employees care about that?
We
like your
we-
photographers, your
They do.
videographers.
They do.
You're like, do they get some sort of like vested anything with
here's something-
success of each company?
company.
Yeah, here's something cool. Is
Okay.
they're all owners as well.
Oh, there you go.
So they all
So that's
have
how.
percentage of Rev Road. So
The better they
they're
all
with
do, the
us.
better they all do.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
something that we feel very strongly
So there you
about.
go. That's the
So not only do our employees and our portfolios win when we win, but so do our investors. You know, everyone wins when Rev Road wins, and that's kind of how we set that up on purpose, so that it's just that way.
Yeah, but we're a startup.
Yeah, I mean,
We
for you,
are, right? So we're creating creative ways to really engage and keep our team, because our team is everything.
Right.
And they develop relationships with these portfolio companies. So we really want them to stay. And
Well,
so
the longer you go, like you're going to be able to just say, like,
Yeah.
hey, I got a guy I want you to talk to. This is
Yeah.
one of our alumni that does exactly what you like.
yeah.
I mean, that'll be pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Because every year you're going to have more and more of those
Yep.
That's right.
kind of mentorships that
Yeah.
Well, and to the credit of our team, there's a
more
couple
valuable.
of team members that have been with us since day one, and they're still with us,
Seven
and they're
years.
still
Shared-
going
the shared
strong.
bathroom.
You know, and yeah,
with that stinky asphalt people.
Yes.
and the kids screaming down below.
That's right.
And the perm smelling coming up.
Oh,
Yeah,
perm
it
anymore.
was-
I don't-
it was
Perm
wild.
and
I can't
tar.
even believe
Perm
we
and
did
tar.
that. Yeah.
Candle.
Perm is coming back. All the,
is.
all the
All the
guys are perming their
guys.
hair now.
This is women's fault.
COVID. Everyone tries new things, right?
You
know?
permed your hair.
Yeah,
I want
why
to
not? Why
go to your
not?
Instagram
Come
right
on.
now.
I filled you out, AJ.
I've got the hair to do it, right? I'm just grateful
wow.
for that, right? So why not? Let's try things, right?
Go to Facebook. You'll
Keep
find
it
us.
real. Yeah, it's there. In all
Have you
my
guys-
glory.
Have you guys ever had a company want to like re-up with you? So after the 2 years, like, this is awesome. We'll trade another piece of equity, maybe for permanent.
It happens.
Partnership?
It happens.
Well,
It happens during that 2 years because they typically want more services because they love what they're getting.
Yeah.
But it is
no,
not as much
we
that.
only have one that we've re-engaged with additional services.
Okay.
That we knew that they needed some more as well. And again, it's an opportunity cost, because I have 3 or 4 other companies and I've already vetted and we're ready to send offers to.
That's right.
Now, do we give some of those services to our existing portfolio company, or do we put those in a new?
There's
and
only so many spots, and if you fill that spot with an existing company, then
Sure.
another company doesn't get
But-
it. Essentially,
we ask ourselves, we are really invested in the success of all the portfolio companies. So we will do everything we can in order to help continue their success. So this particular company, we did.
Okay.
Absolutely, yeah. But the idea is we don't want them to need us by
For
then.
sure.
Yeah.
So is the idea to continue to grow? So instead of doing 3 to 4 per quarter, you can do 5 to 6 per quarter.
So here's our game plan.
not so much.
Yeah.
No, we
This
have a
is phase
3-phase
one.
process.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Amy. Talk about what we're doing.
Phase 1 is
Our
now.
roadmap.
It's the mothership where we are now.
Okay.
Phase 2 is our fund, which we're already pretty down the road. We should be launching that by
We're
the end
raising
of
a
this
$50
year.
million venture fund, so we
Yeah.
can fund our companies internally,
Yeah.
right? Instead of going out to our network outside of
Okay.
Rev
Yeah.
Road.
So we have that underway. Bart.
And will that just be like a traditional fund, just
Yeah.
money for equity?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then phase 3 is there are 12 hotspots around the country that we want to, duplicate this. We've talked with Africa.
We're
We've
gonna
talked with
franchise.
Prague. We've talked with Arizona. Most recently, Arizona.
Dubai, there's a connection there too. Just people are coming out of the woodwork saying, "Hey, this is cool. I've always wanted to do this." We hear that constantly.
Yeah.
And now they may have that chance.
Yeah.
So if you went to different places, would you find local people to do those services, or would you just kind of run it out of here?
No.
And they'd just be like satellite offices
Nope.
type of thing?
It would
Yeah.
be
Location.
specific to that
Yeah.
location.
Okay.
You almost have to, because you have to know that area really well and,
sure.
and have those people there ready to go there.
Well, we do so much internally with the teams. Potluck was just one. We do a Revation every summit where they all come, the investors come. We do executive training events for them. So the internal
Rev University, where we bring some
Yeah.
of these folks on that have started some amazing startups here in Utah County or beyond, and we talk about not only their successes, but hey, what were some of the hard moments and what were some of the pitfalls that we can help our portfolio companies
I've got a
avoid.
bunch of those if you guys want me
There
to
you go.
speak.
Okay.
Yes,
Tons of
we want both
pitfalls.
of you guys.
Do it.
I
Let's
actually
get you
got to
on
do
there.
that once.
do.
Who hired me? Oakland Construction, or one of the big construction
Oh,
companies.
yeah.
It was actually, I haven't told my story like that in a long time. It was pretty fun.
Well, we had the blue couch, and that's what we do every year. So Bree Ray is our amazing interviewer, and she talks. We want the good, bad, and the ugly, because
For sure.
everyone hears about the good.
Oh, it's bad,
And
ugly, bad, ugly,
we're
bad,
happy
ugly,
for
bad,
you,
ugly, good.
but we're
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
It's a 10-year overnight
Oh my
success every time,
gosh.
right?
exactly.
the lessons to be learned about those
Oh, I almost
dark
lost
days.
my family.
Yeah.
Almost
Right.
got divorced.
Yep.
Had no
Couldn't make payroll.
I was in
Totally.
$500,000 of credit card debt,
Right.
the whole thing.
Yeah, or
Well, it was
I
gambling,
just
but I
bombed.
mean, same thing.
CBD.
Just kidding.
Buying lots of
CBD. CBD every time.
Love it. Yes.
Oh
yes.
my gosh.
Okay, I'm never going to be able to say my title
Yeah.
again. Love it.
Love it.
So I
great.
did just find some juicy information online. I couldn't find the perm.
Oh, yeah.
But I did see that you are running for city council.
You did see that.
Wow.
I am running for city council in Mapleton, Utah.
That is
We are
awesome.
super excited.
You're just asking for punishment.
I know. What am I thinking? That's what my wife said.
You
She's
seem
like, are
way
you
too
kidding
nice
me?
to
Who
be
did
on
I
the city
marry?
council.
We're going to have a good time. I'm trying to show my kids, hey, you can be cool and still be in politics and that
Well,
kind
and
of thing.
city council, like that's where politics still matter. Like state and lower
Yep.
for me. Like I've given up anything higher than that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, city council, it's
It's going to be
so funny. We had
it's gonna be
like
an
some like
education.
land development thing in Highland where some construction company wanted to rezone, and that's what Highland is cool about. Like the zoning is bigger lots, and
Yeah.
we all came out of the woodwork for that one. Like, got into the process, and
You see those pitchforks fast, don't you?
for sure, which I was so stoked about because it's like most city council meetings, there's like 7 old people. It's like the same people that bear their testimony
right.
every week.
That's right.
They're the same
Totally.
people at the city council meeting every week.
That's right.
But things just kind of get slid in there. Like city councils can be a little, you got to watch them sometimes, but you'd be great for
you gotta
that.
have good
You have to
people.
dig a little
Sure.
bit more on AJ. He
I will. I'll find it.
also, for fun, owns a limo, and he runs that limo company like crazy.
Wow.
COVID, nothing happened. Post-COVID, everyone's coming out of the woodwork
That's
with
right.
huge events, and we need a limo for everything, and they'll book it for 8 hours. I'm like, you guys, I got other stuff to
So
do.
when he
Hey.
shows up with his driver's hat and his t-shirt tuxedo, we know he's got a job.
You drive it?
Yes.
I do when I can.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I have another driver that helps
I'm
too.
Uber
but-
black too. Isn't that the luxury car?
Well, and this is hot off
would
the
be really
press.
funny.
We've been trying to. No one here. I mean, we've got this nice 14-passenger limo, right? It's cool. It's an SUV. It's got jamming tunes, and it's sweet.
Lights.
But we get a lot of people that say, "I just need a smaller, nice car for weddings."
Right.
And we just secured the Utah's first Rolls Royce for a limo company. So if you need a Rolls Royce for your wedding, hit
Really?
us up. Yep, just hot off the press.
That is announced.
happened
breaking
just
news
2 days
here.
ago. So
Wow.
What's the company called?
it's called Limo Ride with a Y.
Why?
Yeah.
No way.
So check it out. It's being shipped from St. George on Sunday.
There's this company called Rev Road. If you want to grow it,
Yeah, right. That's right. That's right.
next quarter they're accepting
That's
applications.
right. Well, and it's kind of one of those fun things where the cars are cool and you meet some cool people, but
sure.
when you show up at someone's house and it's their wedding or their prom or their anniversary or they're retiring, and that limo is for them, their Cloud 9 just turned into Cloud 50. It's
You guys,
Especially
so-
with kids.
so
Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
so
like a kid's birthday party or
It's
something.
no
amazing.
graduation.
I love it.
So when we moved here, it was not awesome. It wasn't an awesome experience. But my kids just did not have friends. It was just a weird thing.
Right.
And so my senior, as a mom, I'm like, everyone's got
He
their
moved here
parties and
senior
their
year?
friends. No, sophomore, but
But
still,
that's hard from
Hard.
DC
it
to
was
here.
well, and in the mission
Hard, yeah.
field, it's different, way different. But here, everyone's like, eh. Anyway, it was really hard. So as a mom, I'm like, he's a senior. He's
The
gone
mission
through the
field.
last.
Sorry, you threw me for a loop right there. Where's the mission field? What?
Outside of Utah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were mission president or something.
No,
I was
no,
like,
no, no, no.
Mission field. I was like, were
So-
you a mission president?
No. So anyway, I'm thinking, what can I do to make my kids feel special? Like senior year, so many, their friends around, everybody's doing their things, and my oldest is just this kind of quiet guy. So this guy comes up with his limo with banners all over the side.
That's so cool.
You would have
So cool.
thought he was like the be all of all.
AJ, you
It
can
was
tell you're a
awesome.
pretty sweet guy.
He
I just
is.
love that.
He
Like
is
you
awesome.
just have that smile. Like
Well,
you're
thank
a
you.
good dude.
I appreciate that.
He is.
You guys are both really.
I hope
fun.
you don't change your opinion when you really get to know me, right?
Well, we do the intro after. It might change.
There we
but
go. There we
Once
go.
I see the perm,
That's right.
Yeah, that might change it.
So, Amy, I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
Because I've noticed something interesting.
Yeah.
So, tell me about the transition from being. Did you work when you were raising your kids?
No.
Because I can see that I keep seeing I don't want to. This may sound bad the way I'm going to say it,
Just
but
say it.
two
I
different
can
people.
take it. Oh.
The sweet mom,
Okay.
but see, I love it, and I want to know more about it because
Okay.
you still have that. Like you came in here, they had cinnamon rolls, they had a bag of goodies, which I'm excited to open. See what shirt doesn't fit me.
Better see
And,
Rev Road. Yeah, all over
I
the
tried.
town.
I tried.
Right? No, you're sweet.
You're losing weight.
So
Come on, you
sweet.
got it.
She wanted to hug. She gave me a big hug, but when she starts talking about business, you can see this little switch flip, and this kind of badass comes out.
Badass. You just got
You know what I'm
badass.
saying?
Ooh, I like it.
It's hard to do what you do. Like one, you're in a room full of dudes, right?
Yeah.
One's your brother, one's your husband. That's hard. But if you're really the one kind of leading out on these pitches, you got like, that'd be kind of hard. You got to say like being a sweet hugging mom, like you got to get like hard nose sometimes. So how did that happen? Like,
I think it's being a mom.
That
I mean,
was a great question. I'm glad you asked.
yeah,
that. That's a good one.
so this is to Darren's credit. He recruited Jason, but I was there like from the beginning, and so I kind of was just a natural like attachment, I guess, sort of. Is really kind of
2 for 1.
Yeah, it really kind of turned it. But they like Darren is amazing at recognizing what skills moms bring to the table.
for sure.
We are the freaking CEO of the house,
Yeah.
you know,
Sure.
and there's so much that goes into that: crisis management, time management,
Multitasking,
yes, phone calls, babies, poops, diapers,
right?
mad teachers,
Changing your sweats.
neighbors fighting. Well,
I'm just kidding.
I know.
Not you.
That's legit, right?
yeah.
That's legit. Trust me. Who changes it? They just wear them. Who cares?
Hey, I would. Whenever I watch the kids, it is like put the Jordan shorts on and the sandals,
Yeah.
pray,
Especially
and
during
let's go.
COVID, just, you know, is only the top half.
Right.
But I really feel like I'm old fashioned mom, and like Jason and I really are old fashioned. When
Right.
I don't like, we're tough.
Good.
Farm worker, you know,
right.
our kids were working on the farm at someone else's farm, so they had that experience. We follow through with consequences. I mean, I love them to death. Every night they know I stink and love their little stinker butts. I love them. But
Tough love.
they know when they know I mean business. So
Right.
I just think it's just a rollover, but that goes into my everyday.
That had to be intimidating because now you're talking like we're going from mom talk
Yeah.
to like,
Yeah.
you know, I don't think you've realized how many like abbreviations you've used in this. Like you guys have your little names for everything.
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah,
just
yeah,
kinda
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Ed tech.
Oh,
Ed tech, vertical
Cam, I have to
cap
tell you.
table. I know what cap table is, but it's like,
Yeah.
did you know all that stuff?
No.
when you-
So funny
Right.
story about the vocabulary.
Right.
When we started this, I downloaded it. I
Yes.
got on it and I found like vocabulary lists for entrepreneurs.
That
And
is
I-
amazing.
I
Oh,
didn't
yes,
know
you
that.
did?
Did you tell me?
EBITDA.
Yes.
Even
ROI.
People still can't explain what EBITDA is.
I know.
hilarious.
I'm like, how do you spell it?
Like I can teach you how to make brisket.
Uh,
EBITDA.
There is so much to learn, and that's what I mean. There's a lot that rolls over, but there's so much.
But how intimidated were you?
Oh,
Look at her. Not at all.
I was. You guys.
No.
No, I was.
That had to be because
I was.
you care about your parents. Like you've got great personality, but it's
Thank
like
you.
when you go in and you feel like we all do that. Like if you don't want to go in and like let anybody down. You don't want to sound dumb.
Well, here's the
Like that's
here's the
scary,
thing.
right?
I do not pretend to be something I'm not.
Right.
I-
It's good.
I
Genuine.
don't want I don't take my hat off here and go put it on for here and then change it here. I am what you I am. You get what you get, right?
That's why on the podcast, whenever somebody says something like, "So, what is that?" I have no problem sounding dumb. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know
See,
barbecue
I
restaurant.
love that because
like that.
how many of us feel like that on a day-to-day basis, but we
For sure.
think we can't show that.
Right.
Can't stand that.
Just gotta Google it.
It all goes back to that Brene Brown, the vulnerability thing, right? If you can be vulnerable, you've conquered pretty much
If
everything.
you don't win your election,
Oh,
we're gonna light
Hashtag
that
vote for
pharmacy.
AJ.
We're gonna light
Yeah.
that pharmacy asphalt
Would
building
appreciate your
salon
vote,
on-
please.
on fire.
Shameless plug,
I
right?
love it.
Well,
So
thank you.
Cool.
Yeah, I
Thank
do.
you.
Plus, honestly, the truth
Amy
of
has
the
come
matter,
along. I mean, she is
seriously.
doing incredible work.
So I
and
paid money to not speak in church. That's how scared I was.
Hold on. What?
Oh, you guys,
15%.
Mapleton.
15%.
It was the greatest place to move because our bishop, we had a youth, what is that, fundraiser?
Right.
I think those are still allowed. But they did this, and the coupon was 2 years of no speaking in church.
That is
For
so
real.
heard of that.
smart.
That's awesome.
Oh, Bishop
they like
Whiting
$500
was the best. No,
We're
it
gonna
was a
bring that
bidding,
back.
right? It was a bidding. This is at the very end. People are like leaving. It was my birthday. My husband knows what I put the family through when I have to speak at church. Not fun. Not a fun week because I'm so terrified. So he bought this
Funny.
coupon for me, $180,
Oh man.
2 years.
That's a good
The
husband
next
right there.
time, I got it again.
No way.
Awesome. So
We got to
the new
bring this
bishop
back,
was
don't we?
really
We got to bring
smart,
this back.
Actually,
This is cool.
You could raise a lot of money with
a
that.
lot of money.
so good. And I
Because then you have an excuse to call people like over. It's like, sorry, you didn't buy it.
Well,
Here
if
you
they,
go.
if they didn't buy it, like you just That's the short list.
Yes.
You had your chance.
But then I had to speak in state conference twice during that time, and they wouldn't
Oh, that's
honor
how they
it. I'm
get
like,
you.
that's
They
church.
wouldn't honor it.
That's church.
This is a legal binding agreement.
So that's how scared I was, right? So I have had Darren is one of my biggest mentors. Like there were daily times I'd pull him in and say, dude, I need a pep talk.
Is he an older brother?
He is the oldest of 6.
Okay.
So
And you are?
I'm a twin. I'm right in the middle. Like
Okay.
2 boys, my sister and I, and then a younger brother and sister.
Okay.
So
There it is.
life is about
Twin and kind of in the middle. Like
yeah.
you gotta make some noise to
No,
get her.
right.
That's
Actually,
right.
Yeah. Probably did too much, but
Yeah, we know. We know.
don't
But that's a
reach
good
out to
thing.
my high school friends.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, long journey to get there in a short
Right.
period of time. And I love to talk to girls because I do things with the BYU Women in Entrepreneurship group
I
as
just
well
met.
as
Do you know Tanya Brown?
I love Tom.
Oh my gosh, that's my new bowling buddy.
So
Oh,
love
no
Tanya.
way.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
she pulled me in on the board for the BYUE, and then I pulled her in on the UVU We Lift group when I
No
formed that
way.
one with Sid Tetro. And so the funnest thing to do is to talk to these girls who are feeling what I felt at that
sure.
time. And I'm like, what can I give you to help you realize that
Confident
you can
and
do this?
100%.
Like you are the more you do it, the better you are, the less scared you are. Just do it.
Well, is there a
often as
better
you
state
can.
than Utah? Like we have no shortage of female entrepreneurs here.
That's awesome.
Like there are
know.
so many, and
I
it's
love
like
it.
Cool. I love that.
if you need proof that you can just
Yeah.
after 15 years of being a mom, just start $1 million company. Like I mean, I don't know what you did before, but like where you were mom, and this is only 4 years old. Like that's. I was like, there's got to be a fun transition.
I am just
story
living
right there.
proof that anyone can, because I never ever would
That's a
have
little.
ever.
Come on.
No, for
You're a
real.
pretty sharp person, but you're right. Anybody can.
Because I walk into the room with some crazy. I mean, just like you guys have on the show, with people that you just
Right.
like in a previous life, I would never have thought I can sit and have a conversation with them.
Yeah.
There's only
No,
2
it's
that I
awesome.
would never do that again.
Oh,
We haven't done that for a while.
Oh.
Right? Made fun of previous guests.
oh, you better
Whoa.
Well, and you just said 2 this time.
stop rolling.
No, it's 2. It's always been 2. I mean, there's 1.
Is this
The
confidential?
one.
Is this?
Oh yeah, no, I've never revealed it.
Okay, when this cuts,
Maybe I've said it in the B-roll that
we gotta know.
Brett's got. But
after?
Because we're always
We wanna
finding
hear
people for our
after.
blue couch, and so we want to know who not to ask.
Yeah, we want
Right?
to hear
maybe
this
don't
after.
ask us, right? We'd be fun on the blue couch. We did great talking to the trash bags at
You're
UVU.
coming. I watched that. I watched that, you guys. I watched
need to
that.
see
There's
that.
like 3 people there.
It was so weird talking to
And the
like.
trash bags. I know.
Hey, if there's ever a full auditorium, I want to come back.
I do too.
They're back. They're back.
Because
Can
that
we bring
would
you
be,
back?
Yes, it
Absolutely.
would be so fun, but I want students there.
Yeah. So what we should do, we need to do a joint, and we do this. The both BYU and UVU, we combine some of
Oh,
our
that's cool.
activities. We need to have you guys together, and
do it.
we'll host it at Rev Road.
Be so fun.
Done. Blue couch,
love
and then we need you for review for our thing.
Yeah, let's get you on the couch.
Yeah.
Love it.
Let's go.
And
Okay.
We
I
have
love
fun
sitting-
our
stories.
community would think you guys are great.
It's soft.
It's tough.
It's soft.
You guys are the best. Well, any more questions? That was fun. You guys are great. Sometimes with 2 people, you never know, right?
So I guess
We get along great.
the only
you
question
guys
We're
do.
good.
is if you wanted to either like apply if you're a business owner
Sure.
or if you wanted to help someone out, what does that process
Go
look
to
like?
revroad.com. And
Okay.
There's multiple buttons there to apply. You can't
And
miss
and
it.
you're always taking applications.
Yeah.
There's not just like this window.
I usually have 3 open at all times, so
Okay.
people's timings are different. And this is going to be aired Monday, so this will be after the event. But Saturday we're having our big entrepreneurship competition,
Oh,
where we
cool.
have $10,000 grand prize, and there's 36 semifinalists. And
Dang.
look at our judge list. We always have the best judges. You guys need a judge
Oh,
next
is it
year.
the Rev Summit thing?
No, this is our competition.
It's the Rev Road Entrepreneur Competition.
Yeah.
It's the biggest one in Utah, we're told, from
Well,
several people.
Silicon Slopes takes
Yeah,
definitely. We are
besides
Well, that's
that,
cool.
of
yeah.
course, yeah.
But
Very
it's
cool.
so fun.
So how do they get to that? Is that part of the application process, or is that a
That's-
whole separate
That's
thing?
a whole separate,
Separate.
thing.
Oh,
So
okay.
we start taking applications for that in like June, summer.
Okay.
So the cohort is always open for
Okay.
applying, and then we can, you can reapply if you didn't make it the first time or the third time. We just want to see traction if
Yeah.
you're going to come back. But I love that's probably the best part of the job is seeing the amazing companies that come through, the ideas that these people have.
People
the ones
are
that
so
I've thought,
smart.
yeah.
It's so awesome.
There's so many cool ideas out there.
That
There
is
really
the
are.
podcast. That's why the podcast was created, because it's so fun.
Yeah.
Hearing people's story and just seeing what they can do.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
And half the time you're thinking, wow, why didn't I think of that, right?
Yeah.
I did think of that, dang it. That's me. So
There you go.
I
Looking
love
for
it.
the judge. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, go way down. Every year there's some fun people. There's like 24 judges total. So it's
It's big. I mean, we get in. I can't remember the number of applications this year, but we get in a lot of them, right? And then we got to whittle it down to 36 finalists, and then down to 24, and then the
And do they
final-
come
Oh,
like
Mackenzie.
present?
Mackenzie's a judge.
she is.
Yeah, that's cool.
I know. Isn't that awesome?
Go get a Mackenzie.
She's so cool. She's so cool.
She's a blast.
She is.
Wow, this is really cool.
Yeah, fun.
come watch.
So come Saturday. It'll be fun.
If you can, we'd love to have you.
We're feeding pizza. Next time we're doing Bam Bams.
Listen, this is all talk, okay?
No, I'm serious. I even told Peyton, our project manager, I'm like, oh gosh.
You need to open that store again in Spanish Fork. Then we'll
No.
talk.
Hey, I would do Spanish Fork. It just needs to be in a different place with
Yeah,
parking.
totally agree. Totally agree. Yeah, parking is terrible there. Yeah.
It's pitch
Well, thank you
based
guys so
schedule.
much for coming on.
It was a
this
pleasure.
was so fun.
Thanks for having us.
And make sure you go check out Rev Road.
Yeah, start a business. Let's go.
Let's do
Get
it.
out there and try it. I might pitch Bam Bams here soon if I ever want to grow.
Bring me food. Bring me food.
I'll bring
wanna
your
help
food.
you
Yeah,
out.
I'll bring your food. Yeah.
They'll trade
I'll wear my tuxedo T-shirt.
equity for barbecue.
Amen. Done.
I have a lot of equity
Done.
in this thing now, so I'm good.
Thanks,
Thanks, guys.
for having us.
Thanks,
We appreciate
everybody.
it.
Thanks.
Take
That was
care.
awesome.